One of the most famous images that exist from Rue Mouffetard, the Henri Cartier-Bresson photo of the boy with the two bottles. It's been really debated exactly where it was taken. I think I have a good idea. So the 15th century poet François Villon, he used to drink at this pomme de pin right here. This was a very heavy drinking spot at the time. The southern exit of the city towards Italy. That should be right back there, Italy then. Originally, this was considered a very rough street, much rougher than further up in Paris, with small trades and working class or lower working class. And today it's still a very busy street. And one of the cool things, I think, is that it escaped the Haussmannian renovations. So it's still got this little village-like character with all the old houses, although many of the facades are a little bit too fixed up for my taste, but, well, that goes with time. If you blink, you miss it, Le Passage de Poste, one of these little crossings that goes under the buildings. Today, Rue Mouffetard is a pedestrian market street. Produce stalls at the lower end, cafes and restaurants gathering towards the top. À la Bonne Source at 122 is an old wine merchant sign, likely dating back to the 18th century when painted shop signs were essential for identification. Right where this cinema behind me is located right now was the avant-garde Théâtre d'Épée de Bois, which was demolished in 1971 and then became a cinema instead. Rue Mouffetard is actually one of the oldest streets in the city, dating all the way back to Roman times, when it was the pathway leading out the southern exit of the city towards Italy. That should be right back there, Italy then, if I'm correct. Place de la Contrescarpe marks the upper end of the street, opening into a small circular square lined with cafes. Its name comes from the outer defensive wall of the medieval city, which once stood just beyond this point. So the 15th century poet François Villon, he used to drink at this pomme de pin right here. This was a very heavy drinking spot at the time. Villon was also what you might call an outlaw, involved in theft, violence, and more than once on the run from the authorities. At number 60 stands the Fontaine de Pot de Fer, built in 1624. It's one of the oldest surviving fountains in Paris, once fed by the Medic's aqueduct. At number 81 are the remains of a 17th century chapel portal. Two pilasters and a broken pediment framing a sculptured panel above the door. In 1848, this little bar behind me, Le Vieux Chêne, used to be the meeting point, the revolutionary meeting point of the time. It later became a dance hall that opened in 1864, often described as the oldest bar in Paris. One of the most famous images that exist from the Rue Mouffetard is undoubtedly the Henri Cartier-Bresson photo of the boy with the two bottles. It's from 1954, and it's been really debated exactly where it was taken. So it isn't really known, but I think I have a good idea from walking up and down now looking. And right here on 135 you get one of those rare examples of what's known as sgraffito. Sgraffito is a technique where layers of colored plaster are scratched away to reveal the design beneath. Here around 1930 it was used to create a facade of animals and plant motifs, commissioned for what was originally a dairy shop. At the lower end, the street opens into Place Saint-Médard, where the space widens and cafe terraces spread across the square. At one end stands the Church of Saint-Médard, a parish church with origins in the medieval period.